Hello there, everyone. Welcome to your weekly MTA plan work for the Queens subways and the Long Island Railroad for the weekend of June 15th through June 18th. Before I go into this presentation for this week, at the end of the video, if you are a Ronkonkoma rider, you may want to grab a seat and maybe grab a glass of water because you're not going to like the news I may be telling you at the end of this video. So, first things first, I got to get the subways out of the way, and then we got to talk about more positive train control in the Port Washington branch this weekend. How's the 7 looking this weekend? Yep, good news. No work. So if you need the 7... you can use the 7 this weekend, but just a heads up, Times Square shuttle will be not... the Times Square shuttle never runs overnights on weekends, so please just remember that. But you will have 7 train service, so no need to worry about that. The good news is the M train will only have a minor headache this weekend. I'll quickly explain. So beginning tonight, 8:30 p.m. You should be watching this video on the 15th. Today is the 15th, but I am recording it the day before. But I'll just say tonight for the right reasons, because then it is June 15th when you are watching this. So tonight, 8:30, M train service will end early between Delancey Essex Streets and Myrtle Avenue due to track maintenance. You can take the J train between Delancey Essex and Myrtle Avenue. That's very good news. So, good news is the M will run between Metropolitan Avenue and Myrtle Avenue. So you will be able to use the M from there. But if you need service into the city, the best thing I could recommend you do is just take the J train. That's the best thing I can do right now, trying to recommend. Regular local M train service will be available this weekend on the Queens Boulevard main line. Service will be back to normal Monday morning, June 18th. But cannot stress this out again. Please take the J train if you need service into the city this weekend. I cannot stress this out enough if you have to deal with this minor headache, but if you need to go your own way, the best thing I can recommend you do is just look at the subway map. But I'm only making a recommendation for the J because it will be available. The J will be available. I could also recommend you do if you're in Bushwick. I'll quickly mention this. The L train will be your friend. So if you can get to the L train, please take the L train. Can't believe I'm actually recommending the L train, but in this situation, I mean, what choice do we have? Right? So, let me get that out of the way. How's the R looking? Good news is, on the main line, R trains will not be affected. So that's very good news. Just a quick minor headache in Brooklyn I have to talk about. Manhattan-bound R trains will be running express from 36th Street to Atlantic Terminal due to track maintenance. So the best thing I can recommend you do if you are on a Manhattan-bound train and you need to get to any local station, just take the next... Can't believe I'm actually going to be saying this, and I know I have a fascination with this town in Brooklyn. Take the next Bay Ridge-bound train south to access the local stops. So you can get a Bay Ridge-bound train from Atlantic Terminal, transfer to it, and you'll be on your way. How's the E looking? Going into tonight and going until Monday morning, E trains will be rerouted via the F line between West 4th Street and 36th Street due to track maintenance. You can use nearby F stations on 6th Avenue. You can use the 7, A, C, D, or R trains. F train stations meaning the F. Yeah, you can use the F stations. That's the best thing I could recommend you do. The F will be running this weekend. But there's a minor service change I need to get into in the next slide. For Queensboro Plaza, the best thing I can recommend you do, please take the R train, if you can. And then you have the shuttle buses, believe it or not, available this weekend. So I don't know why they're giving everybody this amount of headaches this weekend. I mean, you can take a look at it for yourself. You have the free shuttle buses coming to Court Square, 21st Street, Queensbridge, and Queensboro Plaza. You can't make this stuff up. I mean, this train literally has to go all the way to Astoria now. I'm literally just realizing this. 36th Street, I'm thinking the only 36th Street that it could go to. I know this for a fact, that the F does not stop at 36th Street in Brooklyn. The only tracks that go near there is by Steinway Street in Astoria. This is a big headache. Folks, I'm going to say this now. Avoid the E train this weekend. Please just take the R. And I will give good news about the R, because I'm very happy they are accommodating people this weekend, which is very good news. So I'm going to urge you all, avoid the E this weekend if you can. Please take the R train. I cannot stress this out enough. Please. You can do that. Do that. Because if you take the E, you're going to have a big headache. And guess what? You're going to end up on the 6th Avenue line. You don't want to have that. You don't. Trust me. If you need to look at the map, do that. But your R train will not be affected this weekend. So if you're already over there, just take the M and the R this weekend. Please. That's all I can recommend. You can leave this information here. Just a heads up, service will resume at 5 a.m. Monday morning, and thankfully, regular express service on the E will be back to normal. Now, again, this is what I'm happy about. The MTA did the right thing, in my opinion. F trains are going to be running local in both directions between Forest Hill, 71st Avenue, and 21st Street, Queensbridge, due to signal modernization. Now, again, the F's going to be able to make up some of the slack. So that's very good, at least. You know, it's bad enough. I'm going to say this again. It's bad enough the E's going to have all the big headaches. They basically made it simpler for the F. So, if you want express service this weekend, don't complain about it, please. Don't. The good news is, and I will recommend this, if you need to get to the Queen Center Mall this weekend, from Jamaica, the good news is, you will be able to get to the Queen Center Mall this weekend. So, stay on the F. Don't get off at Forest Hill, 71st Avenue. Your train will get off at Woodhaven Boulevard. If you're coming from 21st Street, Queensbridge, just stay on the F this weekend if you want to go to the mall, I guess. So that's very good news, at least. Alright, we have another epic fail in Astoria this weekend. Yep, you heard it right. There's going to be no N trains this weekend. None at all in Astoria. The usual hotspots, Ditmars and Queensboro, due to track replacement. And this is a very bad weekend to have this track work, because guess what? It's the release of The Incredibles 2. And a lot of people are going to want to go to the Kauffman Stadium by the 36th Street train station. Guess what? You're going to have to take the shuttle bus. I recommend this to everyone. Please plan at least an hour and a half of extra travel time because the MTA is expecting a high amount of customer volume due to the increased demand of people going to the movie theater that weekend to see The Incredibles 2. N trains will run between Queensboro Plaza and Coney Island Stillwell Avenue, so that's very good news, at least in that front, usual. Free shuttle buses will be making all the stops yet again between Ditmars and Queensboro Plaza. So again, if you need to get to the 36th, is it Avenue and Street? I can't make it out right now, but I know that stop very well. I just know the 36 because the 36 on that station, hey, you walk west. No, it's east, right? You walk east, boom. That's where the movie theater is. So, again, please plan extra time. Please plan extra travel time. If you've already pre-purchased a ticket to see the movie in Astoria this weekend, please do. You can transfer between trains and buses at Queensboro Plaza for the 7 and N trains. W's do not run on weekends. Good news is 10 p.m. on Sunday and train service will resume between Ditmars and Queensboro Plaza. So, let me make sure this is right because, I might have put a typo in. Let me just check my emails. Just give me a sec, everyone. I think I accidentally did the wrong thing. I might have made a mistake. Yeah, this is the right information. This is the right information. I apologize, everyone. Let me just update that and manner typo. Will be good. So you can see it now. Just put it back. You want to screenshot this? Last chance to do it, so this is the right slide now. I apologize about that earlier, but what I said earlier was the correct information, so you have it right here. Now, on to the Long Island Railroad. We have another issue at the Port Washington branch. Weekend service will be affected by, yet again, positive train control testing. There will be hourly service Saturday and Sunday from 7 a.m. to noon, and on Sunday from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. So, if anybody's trying to get over to Yankee Stadium for Old Timers Day on Sunday, well, you will be able to get to the stadium on time. Just, read your timetables. Yes, you have the positive train control testing between Woodside and Bayside. Again, typical PTC weekend work. Has to be done. It's about safety. Alright, so this is how service will be affected this weekend. Saturday, eastbound trains to Port Washington will depart Penn Station hourly, beginning with the 7:18 departure from Penn Station to Port Washington. Normal service will resume with the 12:18 departure from Penn Station. So, please remember, you will only have hourly service in the morning at Penn Station, going eastbound to Port Washington. This is how westbound service will be affected. Trains at Penn Station will depart Port Washington hourly, beginning with 7:42 a.m. departure from Port Washington to Penn Station. Normal service will resume with 12:11 p.m. departure from Port Washington. So, hourly service in both directions, like I said earlier. Now, Sunday's going to be a big problem. 7:48 and 8:48 a.m. trains to Port Washington are canceled. Following westbound trains will be canceled. 7:11 a.m. and 8:11 a.m. trains from Port Washington will be canceled. So, please remember that. Please remember that. And then, unfortunately, we have more bad news on the Ronkonkoma branch. Matt Camper first broke this earlier this week. Yep, the cheese is coming back. The cheese is coming back. And here's the ironic thing. June 23rd, next Saturday, I'm heading to Delmarva. So it's perfect timing. Wow. I guess the Long Island Railroad really figures out when I plan my vacations. But on a serious note, nothing really big's happening that weekend anyway. So I can understand why the Long Island Railroad wants to do the heroin interlocking. Okay, so this is the official service advisory from the MTA. I'll read it out to you. Customers are encouraged to avoid the busing and just use the Babylon or Port Jefferson branches. Wanted to highlight that. Come on. There we go. That's better. The heroin interlocking will affect service on the Ronkonkoma branch. Does it say track work? Come on. This has to be heroin interlocking. I mean, if it's not, then I don't know. I really don't know. So as you can see, this is, of course, where your trains are going to be ending. And guess what? You have to take the bus. And guess what those buses might be? That's right. Cheese buses. Boo! See what I mean, folks? Lisa Pegans, I think she's the one putting the cheese buses on that Bustitution route. I think it's her. I really think it's her. We all used to blame Patrick Nowakowski for giving us school buses. Well, we have to blame somebody on the board from the Nowakowski era. Guess what? It's Lisa Pegans. Oh, boy. See what I mean? This railroad is completely out of touch. I mean, look at this. I mean, this is a complete joke. There's only hourly service. Only hourly service to Hicksville. How is this acceptable? Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Yep. Guess what? People in Mineola are screwed. It's a screw job again in Mineola. Yep. Yep. Take a look at this. Take a look at this. This is a joke. This is a complete joke. So guess what? That most likely means people in Mineola are only going to be getting hourly service next weekend. It's Lisa Pegans. Has to be her. She's screwing Mineola, I think. I mean, take a look at this. Take a look at this. You know what this H means? You know what this H means? The train's not going to stop at Mineola. Now, in yours truly's situation, I would be happy about this. Because that would mean I would get a westbound train express to Hicksville. I would actually be using these trains from Jamaica to get me to Hicksville in under 25 minutes. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. Ronkonkoma trains are supposed to be stopping in Mineola. That's right. You heard it here first, everyone. When I took that 218 train last week with Matt that showed up 10 minutes late from Hicksville, that train stopped at Mineola. Okay, I don't want to talk about how it was an M3. But you all get the idea. You all get the idea. There's more blatancy that the Long Island Railroad is in a conspiracy to screw a town like Mineola. A town that has people going to the Social Security building, going to Winthrop Hospital. I'm only looking out for the area. Alright, even if John or my ex-girlfriend wasn't living out in Mineola, I would still be looking out for Mineola, because yet again, I'm going to say this again. All the employees who need to get to Mineola, they can only get hourly service. That's not fair. That's not fair. I urge you all. You care about this Long Island Railroad thing on weekends, please go to the board member meeting on Monday. Please go. please tell them that this is ridiculous, number one. And number two, somebody needs to tell Lisa Peekins off and demand her resignation from the Long Island Railroad. It's a conspiracy. They're telling Philip Bing what to do. Philip Bing wants to put mainline priority agenda first. But in order to get that to happen, we need new members on the Long Island Railroad Board. And remember, these schedules were put in by guess who? Patrick Nowakowski. That's right. Right before he left. Right before he resigned. He literally planned these schedules out back in January. That's 6 months ago. I found this out from the transit boards. Literally, a president of the Long Island Railroad can make schedules up to 6 months in advance for planned work. Some cases I found out it's 9 months. It's 9 months. I'm not joking. From what I heard, this was planned out back in October of last year. Some of this work. From what I was able to make out from the transit forums. I don't know if it was true or not, but most people were commenting saying this has to go back to January. This has to go back to 6 months ago. And I will agree with them. So, I'm also going to recommend John, Pine Power LI, to please, if you can, go to Hicksville next weekend and film the Bustitution. Because we need to see what's going on with this mainline chaos. I will closely be watching the video while I'm in Delmarva. I will make time, because knowing John's videos lately like 45 minutes long, but I can understand why they're that long lately. There's so much to talk about. That's why, and I'm going to keep saying this again, I'm going to try to go to Hicksville once a month. I'm going to try to, most likely. I already have a tentative date in mind, but I just don't want to see the main line get neglected. I really don't. I don't want to get into demographics again. I really don't want to talk about it. But we need to start making changes, bottom line. So, I'm sorry if I went off topic, but it had to be said what had to be said. That's going to end this service changes video for this week. Once again, story of train riders. Please pack extra patience this weekend if you're going to see The Incredibles 2 at Kaufman 14 this weekend. If you're going into the city, just please just pack some extra patience, and hopefully your journey will be fine this weekend. And thankfully the Mets aren't playing this weekend at Citi Field, so maybe that's why they did this work. And they did it last weekend, which was stupid because they knew customer volume was going to be huge. Now it's going to be huge again because you have a theatrical movie release coming out. I hate these notifications. I'll just quickly show you guys. I just hate these. They're so annoying. In the middle of the video, right? Okay. That is the conclusion of this video. Till next time, take care.